So congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Tell us about yourself, tell us about your practice, and tell us about this winning project.
Okay, my name is Josephine Larsson, and I work at Wingårdh. Yeah, we are a practice that has offices in Gothenburg and Stockholm in Sweden. The project is a hotel. Yeah, it may be easier there. It's a hotel, obviously, and it was actually the big question about it is that it's a high-rise building, as I presented before, because Mr. Wingårdh, that I work for, and the client, Mr. Arkitektkontor, who makes hotels, they had a common dream to make a high-rise building. It's a kind of controversial subject in Sweden because there aren't that many high buildings. So in itself, from the beginning, one of the starting points was that it was to be a high building that was to be seen from quite far and be a landmark in Stockholm. So that's why we worked at this as a sculptural object. That was our starting point.
And it seems like quite a boutique hotel. How many rooms does it have?
300 rooms. And it's actually made for international standards, I would say, quite low budget hotel chain. Not, it's very sort of not luxury, with fairly small rooms, but very based on good foods and good locations.
And who is the client? Is it an international chain of hotels or is it an independent operator?
It's a chain of hotels, so in a Scandinavian chain called Scandic Hotels. But the unique thing is that the client, in this case, Mr. Arkitektkontor, he builds hotels that he rents for different hotel chains, and he decides everything. He rents it like, you get a key in your hand. So he also makes all the interiors. So when the hotel chain takes over, it's already furbished and all the furniture are standing there. So he owns the whole thing and rents it.
I know the chains not prefer to have their own systems, their own carpet, standardized carpet, or
they generally do, but they knew. I mean, that was the deal they made with the client from the beginning. That was his sales argument, so to speak. So they made an exception. Usually, they do their own design. Yes.
And what kind of do you often get involved in hotel projects? What's the kind of workload that you have in the office?
We have all kinds of projects in our office, from very small villas, quite exclusive, and to very big developments. Shopping centers, hotels, schools, yeah.
And I'm sure that's going to be a theme of all of the interviews, but you've designed this hotel, which is quite a big statement for a city like Stockholm. But you come out to Singapore and we're in this hotel, which is unbelievable in its scale, isn't it?
It is, it is. So that's, it's like when I showed it on the slides that was there, you see it compared to, it's like a real midget among the...
And as an architect, what's it like for you to come to a place like Singapore? And have you been to this city before?
I have never been to Singapore before. I think it's fantastic because the thing here is that you get a skyline of buildings, which is very beautiful.
Yeah, and it's really quite extraordinary. I'm sure if you were to come back in 2 years' time, there would be more things there. But how do you feel about the scale of development here and the opportunities that are here compared to Europe? Does Europe feel a little bit sort of sleepy and conservative?
Europe has this thing that they stick to their historical buildings, and it's like the city of Stockholm. Everyone there, or not everyone, but many people are very scared of sort of touching the city, the old scale, and sort of develop it in a way so that it becomes too high. They want Stockholm to be a low city and more. You cling to your cultural heritage.
And what's your opinion on that argument? Do you feel like that a lone tower in Stockholm is enough, or do you think that cities in Europe should really build in the way that they're building up here to keep up?
There are more buildings in Stockholm that are almost as high as this one, so they are coming up. And I don't think you should keep the discussion on the level high-rise buildings or no high-rise buildings. I think it depends on where you make them and how you design them.
Yeah. And congratulations on winning the category. Are you optimistic about the big prize later?
I think I'm in a quite hard competition here. I've seen so many beautiful other projects. So.
Okay, well, good luck anyway, and thanks for coming up.
Thank you very much.